CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Well, winter is back with a vengeance, and it sounds like it might be here to stay. Here's a live look outside our newsroom tonight. The London area is under a snowfall warning and snow squall watch. Environment Canada is warning of snowfall amounts of 10 to 20 centimeters with reduced visibility due to heavy snow. Temperatures are set to drop overnight, feeling like -18 to -20. Julie joins me now with a preview of your full weather forecast. Julie, we have some snow coming down right now.
Yeah, a couple things happening with the forecast. We do have some snow squalls expected to develop overnight and carry into first thing tomorrow morning, and some heavy snowfall east of London as low pressure winds its way through, and we will start to see this wraparound effect leading to some heavier accumulation. So we are expecting about 5 to 10 centimeters to fall overnight, and then the potential for another 5 to 10 centimeters in the city of London. Now I'm going to break it down for you. You will take a look at the entire region, why this is happening, the cold air on the move, and yes, it's getting cold out there tonight. Temperatures already really starting to fall. I'll take you through all your local forecast details coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks for that, Julie. A Sarnia man who was run over by an SUV last week says he had a guardian angel watching over him. CTV's Brian Bicknell has more on how a dispute between friends almost cost one man his life.
Some of the stuff just started peeling a couple days ago. I'm gonna guess this is the pole, like the pole on that, where it hit me. Marks here, I got stitches up in my forehead. Staples, sorry, not stitches. Like, I think I got 4 or 5 of them in my head. They had to glue my eyebrow back together.
Steve Marche is worse for wear, but the father of 3 is walking and talking and says he's lucky to be breathing.
I guess I was just lucky, and then I had a guardian angel over me.
This was him on Saturday in front of his Sarnia home. He's the one under the car, repeatedly being run over, as seen in this blurred video supplied by Sarnia police.
I ended up going into a shock seizure, and then I woke up in the ambulance.
Marche says he had gotten into an argument with a close friend. Then on Saturday, just after midnight, police say a vehicle drove into an Afton Drive townhouse complex and struck an e-bike. Police say the suspect got out of his vehicle and approached Marche's home with a pipe in his hand before leaving the scene. The same day, around 1:45 in the afternoon, the suspect is alleged to have returned in his car. An altercation ensues, and that's when Marche says he was run over by his friend.
If it wasn't for the pole and the curb saving my life, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be dead because of this guy. He ran over me 3 times.
A 21-year-old Sarnia man faces several charges in connection to the incidents, including attempted murder. In the meantime, the police investigation continues into this dispute between former good friends that turned violent, while the suspect remains in custody and the victim and his family now deal with the trauma. Marche says none of his injuries is serious and he's recovering at home.
I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was going to lose my family, my kids. I don't even know what was going through this guy's mind.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Another fire in a vacant downtown building is raising concerns about homelessness in London. Shelters say they're out of space and people are being left with nowhere safe to go. CTV's Rita Ismail reports.
London Fire responded to a call Tuesday morning. A small pile of garbage and flames inside an idle building at Dundas Street and Lyle, directly across from the Arcade Mission. The site, a former bank, was left with broken plywood and shattered glass after the incident. It comes just days after the former Kent Brewery was set ablaze over the weekend when a pair of fires ripped through the building. Although the cause was not determined to be suspicious, officials believe the fires were started unintentionally by someone trying to keep warm. It's a problem that has become increasingly common this winter as shelters across the city say they are bursting at the seams.
We are continuing to turn people away for programs and for night spaces. It is absolutely, as a human being, heartbreaking to say to someone, I don't have space for you tonight.
Jackie adds, like many organizations in London, ArcAid relies heavily on donations and volunteers. And unfortunately, the demand is far outpacing capacity.
We are really challenged right now with the need that we see in our community. Folks on our streets are struggling.
Downtown Ward 13 councillor David Ferreira says the situation is reaching a breaking point and is calling for more funding from all levels of government.
This is a crisis, and there's just not enough capacity. There's not enough housing to house people. And when you have people who are in desperate situations out in the cold, they will try to find any means that they can to stay warm.
In the spring of 2023, 31-year-old Olivia Clark was trying to stay warm inside a makeshift tent when it caught fire. She later died in hospital. Her mother, Stephanie, says the recent fires bring back painful memories and highlight a loss of compassion in the community.
This harkens back, obviously, to the loss that we suffered with our daughter. We did see a change in the empathy after our daughter Olivia passed away in 2023 with the London community. The empathy was there. We have seen that empathy erode.
Stephanie Clark says her daughter's death underscores ongoing gaps in social support, and her family has since become advocates for members of the vulnerable community, starting a nonprofit called Sincerely Olivia.
If my loss can help somebody else's child get the help that they need so that maybe they can get back to their family, then I will do that. I'll do that journey.
Rita Ismail, CTV News.
After 21 days, the manslaughter trial looking into the death of a 15-month-old boy heard from its third witness. Emily Hendricks testified that she saw Nathaniel McClellan in the arms of the accused Megan Van Hoof just hours before he was rushed to hospital in October of 2015, and that everything appeared to be normal. She said days later, Van Hoof told her the child was in critical condition after he collapsed. The court has heard the toddler died from a head injury days after being at the home daycare of Van Hoof in Strathroy. The accused has pled not guilty to manslaughter. Construction has resumed on the micro-shelter project for homeless Londoners after unexpected weather delays. CTV's Daryl Newcomb reports.
You can hear how saturated the ground is in this farm field next to where the city is constructing its micro-shelter project for homeless Londoners. A January thaw combined with too much rain forced contractors to pause the digging of trenches for utilities last week. But now, after bringing in loads of additional gravel, workers have returned to the site.
It ended up being a very short delay. The solution that we worked out with the geotechnical engineer was very, very simple. So we've brought in some additional material for placement in some of those trenches that were a little bit soft.
Last October, Mayor Josh Morgan proposed constructing this 60 micro-shelter facility that will house up to 70 people experiencing homelessness. Council endorsed spending $7 million to construct and operate the site until April 2027. In the midst of the muddy conditions at the end of last week, City Hall was unable to estimate when the construction would actually be finished. But now, Ashley Ramalou can provide an updated target for when the site will be ready for people to move in.
This week we are doing the remaining grading work. A whole bunch of electrical work is happening, and we will be ready next week to move the rest of the shelters on site as well as the rest of the support trailers. So by the end of next week, it will be very, very close to welcoming people.
Residents will begin moving in the week of January 26th. Once on site, they'll receive services including support for mental health and addictions. There will also be washrooms, showers, a dining area, and 24/7 staffing. Ramalou credits the fast pace of construction on the dedication shown by contractors.
We had contractors here over the Christmas break and really taking only very few days off, working in all kinds of weather conditions that were not ideal, but everybody has been so dedicated in realizing how important this project is.
About 2/3 of the 60 micro-shelters are currently on site. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A local United Way has its sights set on building an affordable housing project in Exeter. Scott Miller has more.
A 2-acre plot of land behind an Exeter church will soon be home to the United Way's next affordable housing project.
We're here to make sure that more people in our communities have safe and affordable housing of their choosing.
A multi-story affordable housing complex is the vision United Housing has for the land behind Exeter's Pentecostal Tabernacle, located on the southern edge of Exeter. Noah's Ark Community Table and the United Way's Connection Center for unhoused Exeter area residents are already located in the church's basement.
It's kind of an extension of what we're already doing, which I love. And we've already, we have a bit of a community feel downstairs with what we're doing. And so we want to extend that community feel out to this housing project and just have, services available to our clients, food, whatever they need to help them stay housed.
Not eager to be landlords themselves, the church is selling the land at a discounted rate to United Housing, but they still need to raise about $150,000 to purchase the property and start pre-development work. United Housing already has about $55,000 in the bank, thanks to sizable donations from 2 local companies.
Things are expensive, and it's very difficult for a younger person to afford a home here in our local communities, which is such a shame. So we're hoping this can help kickstart some things and maybe, some solutions to the problem.
Admittedly, this project here for United Housing in Exeter is still probably 3 to 5 years away from completion because services have to be put in by the municipality. But everyone involved says you have to start sometime, somewhere, and that time is now.
You need to start somewhere, and it's a good place to start in smaller communities as well. Sometimes get overlooked, so it's great to do this kind of locally where I grew up and help where I can.
United Housing has affordable housing projects underway in Listowel and Stratford. Their goal is to add 100 affordable housing units to Huron-Perth by 2030. They might just reach that goal with the Exeter project alone.
An organization has to lead, has to get to that point where we have projects shovel ready. We believe that government at all levels will invest in our projects. We just have to be able to show the vision and say, hey, this region's ready. But you don't get there unless you have an organization that's ready to take the leap, and that's why we created United Housing.
In Exeter, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Coming up, how a hit Hollywood show is drawing an international audience to a special place in Alberta. Canada's main stock index is up as gains in the basic materials and energy sectors offset losses in technology. In Toronto, the TSX gained 46 points, while in New York, the Dow fell 42 and the Nasdaq dropped 238. The Canadian dollar gained 0.05 of a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold added more than $36 an ounce, and oil is up 95 cents a barrel. A few months after announcing she'd be stepping down as Ontario Liberal leader, Bonnie Crombie made that decision official today. The former mayor of Mississauga decided in September to step down after receiving 57% support in a vote by party delegate. She had initially said she would stay on after leading the Liberals back to official party status in the last year's election. Crombie said today that she was leaving the job immediately so that both she and the party can move forward. The Ontario Liberals have said they'll choose an interim leader shortly while they plan a leadership race. The future of Greenland is the focus of a key meeting at the White House today, with foreign ministers from Denmark and Greenland holding face-to-face talks with U.S. officials. CTV's Joy Melvin has more.
After months of fielding threats, Denmark ramped up its military presence in Greenland with the help of its NATO neighbors, Air Force, Navy, and Sweden sending in troops, part of a promise to beef up Arctic defense. And to counter President Donald Trump's threats, for months Trump insisted the mineral-rich island is vital to U.S. national security, posting, "It is vital for the Golden Dome that we are building," referring to his missile defense system. If we don't, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen. The White House mocking what it calls Greenland's defenses, posting this image of sled dogs.
It is not easy to think innovative about solutions when you wake up every morning to different threats.
We're going to see what happens, but we need it.
After their White House meeting, the Danish minister insists China and Russia are not immediate threats, but will look for ways to accommodate Trump's concerns.
Of course, we share, to some extent, his concerns. There's definitely a new security situation in the Arctic and the high north.
Adding, it's totally unacceptable not to respect Greenland's sovereignty and Trump's ultimatums. Well, they're not going over well with Greenlanders.
The United States will try to buy Greenland or they will invade it.
I'm afraid that he will destroy the NATO alliance and he threatens our kingdom and the Greenlanders, and I really don't like that.
The delegation says it will meet with the Trump administration again in hopes of strengthening cooperation, but with one big red line: as allies and not owned by the United States. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Meanwhile, the situation with the U.S. and Greenland has raised several questions, like what does Canada's north look like when it comes to Arctic defense? CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Canada's Arctic region makes up roughly 40% of the country's total landmass. It's huge and it's hard to secure.
In the beginning, when Trump wanted to buy Greenland, I just laughed it off because it was so absurd.
Ayu Peter is a Greenlander who lives in Iqaluit. She still thinks Donald Trump's threats to take Greenland are absurd, but now she takes him seriously and thinks all of the Arctic is at risk.
Canada is right in the middle between Greenland and the United States. He's going to want to also take over Canada.
The federal government has pledged billions of dollars in new defense spending, including money for Arctic security. But in such a vast and mostly uninhabited area, military analysts say defense spending is not enough to assert Canadian sovereignty in the north.
It's really a whole of society approach, working with Northerners, working with territorial governments and the Indigenous people that live in the region to make sure that they have access to the same services.
Canada is set to hit NATO's 2% target this year, but experts say Trump's saber-rattling against NATO members presents a threat to the future of the alliance at a time when it's needed.
This is exactly the time that we need to stand together with our allies, that NATO needs to be very effective and very strong and serve as a deterrent so that Putin won't miscalculate and go even further.
The U.S. ambassador to Canada was asked today whether Trump has his sights set on Canada's Arctic as a way to bolster North American defense. He said Canada, the United States, and Finland are working very closely on defense to ensure they are, quote, in lockstep when it comes to Arctic security. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
It's being called a historic moment, the first time a Canadian Prime Minister has been back on Chinese soil in more than a decade. And the topic on many Canadians' minds, movement on agricultural tariffs. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more.
It wasn't long ago that Canada called China a disruptive power. Now the language has softened as Prime Minister Mark Carney's government looks to bring stability back to a frigid diplomatic relationship.
This is a new government with a new Prime Minister, a new foreign policy. In this moment of economic stress for our country, it is necessary for us to diversify our trading partners.
And Carney has made it clear that rethinking includes increasing non-U.S. exports through deeper partnerships with countries like China. And over the next few days, the Prime Minister will be pitching Canada to business and government leaders as a place to invest.
I think that this was a really important opportunity to reset the relationship at a time when we're obviously dealing with a much tougher United States and where our Canadian national interests have to be rethought.
A key area of debate and likely disagreement, Canadian tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles and Chinese tariffs on Canadian canola products. Government officials say it's reasonable to expect progress on so-called trade irritants, but the definitive removal of tariffs is unlikely.
Our ultimate goal is to restore market access to China, have more smoother, predictable trade with our number 2 export market. And so we're looking for signs of progress and resolution on that front.
While that resolution may not happen, Ottawa is framing this business visit to Beijing as a stepping stone on a larger plan to normalize relationships and help reopen lines of communications. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Beijing.
Amid ongoing tensions between Canada and the U.S. over the Trump trade war, some Canadian snowbirds are reevaluating their winter getaways, while others are looking forward to another trip south next year. CTVnews.ca interviewed a flock of snowbirds about their experiences with their American properties. One couple said they no longer feel welcome in the U.S. and are now spending the winter in Mexico. Another says he still enjoys staying at his vacation home in Florida, but his biggest concern is the exchange rate. A survey by Snowbird Advisor shows 70% plan to spend this winter in the U.S. compared to 82% who spent last winter down south. That's a 15% decline in year-over-year snowbird travel to the U.S.
It's getting cold out there and snow coming down. Flurries continue overnight with some heavy amounts of snowfall. Temperature will drop down to -11, and that's where we'll stay heading into tomorrow morning. Thanks, Connor, for this photo of a Maury. Northwest wind continue. And yes, we have flurries and snow squalls in the forecast. Stay with us. Your local weather is coming up.
Julie joins me on the desk now. Julie, it felt like we were waiting all day for the snow to get here. Now it's here. How long is it going to be sticking around?
Yes, we have snow in the forecast overnight, and it could get heavy at times. We have a couple of different scenarios playing out with this system. It's a sneaky little low pressure system that's developed associated with it. But you're right. It felt like we were waiting for the snow all day. The reason is this Arctic cold front that had been moving through just took its time. So temperatures slowly dropping this afternoon. That high of 4 degrees was reached overnight. Our low temperature -6 and will continue to drop overnight down to about -11. So here's the cold front that made the move across the area. Not a whole lot with the snow out ahead of it, but we are seeing this low pressure system develop just off to the south. So what that means is areas east of London will be picking up higher amounts of snowfall, and that's why Environment Canada has issued a snowfall warning areas east of London towards Toronto. So snowfall amounts will vary significantly across southern Ontario. So first, what you need to know is, yes, we have snowfall and snow squalls coming into the area. In London, a snow squall expected to develop overnight and into tomorrow morning. So potential for about 5 to 10 centimeters. And then again, another 5 to 10 centimeters possible in the morning. So that could total on the high end 20, on the lower end will be 5 to 10. So you know how it goes with those squalls depending on how they set up. But areas east of London, so that's Oxford County, Brant County, towards KW and in and around Toronto, that northeastern shoreline of Lake Erie, snowfall amounts expected to be higher, close 10 to 15 centimeters, even some locales picking up 20 centimeters. The reason why is we're going to see this wraparound moisture coming in. So watching that. So two different things unfolding in southern Ontario. We have snowfall and snow squalls overnight, and then we also have system snow to the east. So that's why snowfall amounts are so varied, and that's why the watches and warnings have been changing throughout the day today. Now temperatures overnight cold, factoring in the wind chill. It'll feel like the minus teens. In London, we'll drop to -11 along the lakeshore of Huron and Erie, -9. Any way you look at it, it's cold. Temperatures will remain below normal. So watch how it plays out on the forecast model. So this is tomorrow morning's, the snowfall still there. As we head into the afternoon, still snowing in the GTA. This is going to be a big issue tomorrow morning for commuters, especially traveling from London to Toronto. Please plan accordingly. Not a great day to be on the roads. Then as we head into Friday, another weather system coming in. It's going to be cold tomorrow. Temperature won't move. We'll drop down to -11, and that's where we'll stay. Snowfall and snow squalls and blowing snow in the morning, breaking in the afternoon, and we can even see some peaks of sunshine as we move through 4 to 5 p.m. just before sunsets. Friday, another round of snow coming in, 2 to 4 centimeters possible, -2. Temperatures rebound a bit for the weekend. Still cold, though. Overnight lows anywhere from -5 to -10 over the weekend with flurries, and that continues into Monday. Tuesday, -9. We'll just have a series of these low pressure systems, although they are fairly weak coming through. Every time one comes through, it will generate some snowfall. So what's happening out there tonight? We have snowfall and snow squalls coming through. We also have system snow. Areas along that northeastern shoreline of Lake Erie will be getting some heavy snow. This will be east of eastern Elgin County, so that'll be through Haldimand, Norfolk, and in and around the Niagara area, and then Toronto as well, expecting some snowfall. Oxford County, my friends in Woodstock, we will likely see some bus cancellations first thing tomorrow morning. We will be dealing with that blowing snow, icy road conditions with the temperatures dropping overnight, and those bitterly cold wind chills will take us into your Friday with yet another round of snow and blowing snow on the way. Leave yourself lots of extra time. Tomorrow morning, you will need it. Make sure you cover and you're completely clean off your vehicles. And of course, go slow on area roads. Back to you.
Thanks, Julie. 4 astronauts are on their way back to Earth tonight because of a medical issue on board the International Space Station.
Be ready when you are for closing the Dragon hatch.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 11 closed the hatch as they departed earlier this evening after their mission was cut short. It is the first emergency return in the orbiting laboratory's 25-year history. LEGO is joining forces with the Pokemon universe. The toy giant has unveiled its first ever line of Pokemon sets, marking a major crossover between 2 of the largest play brands in the world. The first collection will debut on February 27th and is inspired by characters throughout Pokemon's 3-decade history. The initial rollout will feature 5 fan favorite characters. A hit Hollywood show is drawing an international audience to a special place in Alberta. CTV's Tyson Fedor explores the connection.
Nestled at the foot of the Rocky Mountains is Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump. The historical Indigenous site showcases exhibits, trails, and lookout points of where the Blackfoot people use their knowledge of buffalo behavior to kill their prey for food.
We pride ourselves on being stewards of a sacred site. Bring more understanding of what the southern Alberta landscape has to offer.
The site, located west of Fort Macleod, was peppered into some dialogue between 2 ER doctors on the season 2 premiere of HBO Max's show, The Pit.
Where are you going?
Head smashed in Buffalo Jump.
Captain Crunch flying squirrel socks. What are we talking in code, or you having a stroke?
It's an Aboriginal UNESCO heritage site in Alberta.
We had no idea. It was a pleasant surprise.
It's unclear how the writers ended up featuring Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump for Noah Wile's character, Dr. Michael Rabinovich's script, but was centered around discussion of taking a sabbatical. However, that scene that aired last week has sparked a flurry of visitors to the park.
We watched The Pit. We love it. It's a great show. Big fans of ER, big fans of Noah Wile. Complete reference out of the blue. Got us really excited, so we came down for the day and check it out. We've had a ball. It's awesome.
Travel Alberta has also featured the scene in a recent video. The Pit recently won several Golden Globes, including Best TV Series for Drama. Now, staff of the world-famous site are hopeful the international attention draws out even more curious travelers. Tyson Fedor, CTV News, near Fort Macleod.
That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.